Welcome to Astro Venture, the DSLR astrophotography channel. Hey there, Astro Ventures. Welcome back. If you're new to this astrophotography channel, my name is George and I want to welcome you. This astrophotography channel is dedicated to DSLR and mirrorless camera bodies combined with the lenses you own and a simple star tracker. That's it. And with that, you can do some amazing astrophotography. For this episode of Up in the Night Sky, I'm really excited about this target because it is one of my all-time favorites, and it was probably one of those targets that made me the most excited once I captured it, and it is the Veil Nebula. The Veil Nebula is located in the Cygnus constellation, and from previous episodes you'll probably remember Cygnus constellation, the swan. Cygnus is flying down the Milky Way. To locate the Veil Nebula, once you have located the constellation of Cygnus, you're going to go to the eastern wing of the swan, and that center star, Epsilon Cygni, it's just in front of that star and a little off to the side, but on the eastern wing. Now, why I fell in love with this star and why it's one of my favorites. This star has some absolutely beautiful reds and blues that you can pull out using a stock DSLR. You do not need a modified camera to capture this. So let's go through our particular image and what we did to capture it. To start, we were using a stock DSLR, Nikon D500, and we paired that with a 300mm f4 prime lens. Now, pairing a crop sensor with a lens of 300mm gives you a focal equivalency of 450mm. So if you are shooting on a full frame, to replicate what we captured, you would want a lens that goes out to 450mm. If you are on a crop sensor, 300mm lens will give you that focal equivalency of 450, what we captured ours with. Let's see here. So 300mm, f4, 450mm equivalency. Our ISO, because this is a rather faint target, we had to crank that ISO up to 1250. And that's because what you're shooting is the leftover gas remains of an exploded star. So you've really got to amplify and pull in those photons that you can capture. Exposure time. We did 2 minutes and 15 seconds for a total of 2 hours of shooting time. And of course, we collected all of the other prerequisite images that we would need, our flats, lights, darks, bias, and stacked it all in Deep Sky Stacker. Now, the shooting conditions. We were in a Bortle 2 sky, which is nice and dark. And to give us even more of an edge, truth be told, we were actually on a mountaintop at about 9,000 feet here in the high desert of Utah, where we have virtually no humidity during the summer months. And getting us up there at altitude of 9,000 feet with Bortle 2, you couldn't ask for a better shooting condition. And in our images, we really had no light pollution creeping into our images. But don't let that discourage you from giving it a go. And with that, I want to encourage you to get out there this month as soon as possible with this upcoming new moon and capture it, because just before true dark, when you have the last of that sunlight gone, the Cygnus constellation is just before the peak overhead. And if you start shooting at that point and then follow it up and over the peak and down the other side, you'll easily be able to get 2 or 3 hours of data in that cleanest shooting region directly overhead. So I want to encourage you, get on it and get this one. And I am telling you, when you start working the data and you see that blue and red pop, I think you'll be truly excited as well. As usual, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing, ringing the bell, helping us grow the channel. If you like the video content you saw, consider smashing the button and follow along. Until our next episode, I want to wish you clear skies, and I hope you get out there and capture this absolutely sweet target, the Veil Nebula. Until next time, my name is George.